So I'm just setting up the record now, and I just also let's make sure that I have all of your permission to use the video portion of our interview today in case I want to use it for bonus material or for promotion for the show. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes.
Sweet. Primarily audio podcast, but that stuff does definitely help. So the thing is, I just watched the movie Lean on Me like 2 weeks ago, so I could finally see all these great scenes, and it was just incredible movie. You guys,
Yeah, it was.
how did how did that affect your lives being part of that? And were you in the school before Mr. Clark had come to the school?
Take that next step.
You want me to handle that one?
Yeah, you can handle that, and then I'll feed off you.
All right. No, Mr. Clark was up there. He had entered the Eastside High School a year before we got there. And before we got there, Mr. Clark had thrown out about 150 to 200 students. He held a assembly, and you know what I mean? He went through the database, and you know what I mean? He was checking who was coming to school and who was goofing around, who was getting suspended that year. He gathered them all up. He looked to see who was failing the tests, you know what I mean? And, you know, the teachers tried to reach out to him to try to get him help so that they could do better on the test. He found out that they weren't trying to be helped. He held an assembly and threw him out of the building. So
wow.
when we got there, Mr. Clark had already did that. So when we got there, we had a clean slate. But when we got there, he held another assembly, and he let us know what he did. It was more like, listen, I want to let you know that I just threw out 150 students. He said, and I will do it again. He said, we are trying to build and trying to make sure that our test scores is up. So we're gonna need your help to do whatever you have to do that. And that's pretty much how it went.
Well, on top of that, it wasn't like he did it purposely, because everything, you know, was like he came into school for a reason. The reason they hired him as the principal, because it was an issue during those days of Eastside High School before we came. So he didn't just throw them out. He gave them an opportunity to be able to clean up and to be able to do what they were supposed to do when you go to school. So it ain't like he just tossed them. So he said, listen, I'm here. We're going to work together. We're going to do what we got to do together. But if you're going to waste your time, waste my time, then there's no need for you to be here. So he had a lot of parents that was like really upset with him. Like if you go into the story, into the movie, you've seen that there was a part of the thing to where the parents try to get Mr. Clark locked up. As a matter of fact, they did get him locked up. But the reason they got him locked up, because it's just like if you had a child who was into school and not knowing your child wasn't doing what they supposed to have did. You know what I'm saying? That child was basically messing up. And listen, I don't want you to be a bad influence on some kids that wants to do right. So it's like he said, you know what, rather than deal with that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just let these kids part ways. And I'm going to deal with the children and the kids and teachers who wants to be a part of what I'm trying to build, like Nitty said. So it wasn't like they just tossed the kids out. He basically did what he had to do to basically protect the environment of the new kids that was about to enter the school, like myself, Michael, Stephen, Kenny at the time, and my brother Dwayne, who was considered playboys, and then Riff for the most part.
He wanted to create a safe learning environment for everyone who desired to be there. Is what I got out of it.
Exactly.
And it was beautiful. Oh, someone's here. Smooth's here.
Uh-oh.
So be the man. He's in the building. Give it up to Smooth, my man. Okay.
He's back. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll just let them connect here, and we can continue. Smooth, can you hear us?
Yep.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Good to talk to you again. Can you see everybody okay?
Yes, I'm about to activate mine as well.
Okay.
Let me see. Ooh,
Sounds good.
there we go. Boom.
Yeah. Looks nice. Good to see you.
He was
Yeah.
So we were just starting. You hadn't missed much. I had asked the first question being about the movie because since the last time I spoke with you, I got to watch the movie again. So I got a little bit more refreshed with everything. But we were talking about how he made the school and he kept the people out who were causing negative impact on the learning environment. Now,
right.
since you were saying, Anthony, that he gave everyone a chance to prove themselves, in the movie it didn't quite show it like that, but it definitely showed him taking care of business. One of the guys from The Sopranos is in that Riff Raff group. Remember? His name, he's Chris on The Sopranos. And I was like, oh, I know that face.
Yeah, they actually had a lot of celebrities that we didn't know at the time that were partaking in the movie Lean on Me. We just didn't know. You know, we was kids.
Exactly. So then at the time when you guys were getting together and this movie was being filmed, you had Morgan Freeman come to your school. Now how did this all get introduced to you guys that the movie was going to be made out of this?
You want to take that smooth or chill?
Well, I can actually take that because I was actually in my history class, and you know, we was being taught, and all of a sudden you hear a knock on the door, and then Mr. Clark sticks his head in the window, into the door, and he says, "I'd like to introduce you guys to someone." And Morgan Freeman walks in. He said, "This is the guy that's going to be playing me during my movie." So I mean, we all got excited and everything, and I mean, that's how we were told. I mean, that's how I found out. I was in history class, and he brought Morgan Freeman into the class, and we all got to meet him.
I didn't know that, Smooth. That's all right, bro.
Word up.
Oh.
No way.
Now, Morgan Freeman, so you know, he came after. It was a producer, the producer, I want to say the songwriter and the director. These people heard about all the stuff that was about to take place. You know, that was taking place in Patterson, New Jersey, Eastside High School. So what they decided to do was visit the school to basically see what was going on. So after visiting the school and talking to Mr. Clark and talking to a couple of other people, basically went back to California and did what they had to do. And that's when they were able to come up with their plot in terms of who they wanted to play as, you know, Mr. Clark, which was Morgan Freeman. And then after all of that transpired, then that's when Morgan Freeman had a chance to visit the school. Because in order for Morgan Freeman to be able to play Mr. Clark, he had to go there and meet him and see how he basically moved and he shifted and he did his things in terms of how he interacted with the children who was a part of the school at this time.
Yeah, he was shadowing Mr. Clark. Yeah, he was shadowing him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you believe?
And he did that. It wasn't for one day. Like, you wouldn't believe. Morgan hung out for a couple of days just to shadow him, to see what he was like.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't like, one day, a couple of days he hung out.
Oh, no. Yeah. It would take at least a while, you would think, to get the mannerisms right, the moves, all of that. And how close do you think his portrayal was to Mr. Clark?
Oh,
He was pretty spot on to me.
Yeah.
Pretty spot on. Deadlock, like bullseye. Like he studied him. He studied him. The way he walked, the way the way he talked, the way he held the bullhorn, the way he interact with the students. He was pretty much dead on how Mr. Clark mannerism. He had him down packed. So it was amazing to watch.
One of my favorite scenes is when the kids in the cafeteria are the one kid's imitating him, and then he walks in, and then he calls him out on it, and then he was asking the girl, "Is that what I'm like? Do better or whatever." Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty sweet. Did the filming of the movie disrupt your classes and the school being able to function properly, or did everything go pretty smoothly?
I got to tell you that everybody was excited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody was going to be in the movie. He wanted everybody in the movie. You know what I mean? Like those kids that you seen in the movie actually went to the school. They had some extras come in, but for the most part, those were all Eastside High School children that, you know, that was in the movie. Yeah. And it didn't really like interrupt our class work or anything like that there, like, because we basically knew what was going on. You know, they was just, you know, watching and building and seeing what they had to do to make this whole production come together. So it didn't really bother us.
And we still had to report to class too. So a lot of people think that it was easy, like just because you film it, you don't got to report to class. No, whenever we had, like whenever we weren't like working, we had to report to class. So that means, so that means if we had a first, second, and third period, for 2 periods we had to report, being math or history, and then after we were done with that, then we would have to come back, and then a lot of days that we missed the whole day, sometimes we would be tutored for the most part. So I mean. Yeah, so they made sure it wasn't just about the financial part of it, and how they was going to make money. They at the same time they thought about us, you know, kids at the same time to see how we were still going to be able to get our education. You know? So it was more than just, you know, it was about the education too as well, because you can't practice and preach about a high school that's dealing with all type of drama and non-educational existence, and you got us being pulled from class and not being educated or not being, you know, homeschooled or whatever.
Exactly.
So that makes sense.
Right.
So they made sure we was covered for the most part.
Nice. Well, I know that the big centerpiece of the film was definitely the part where you guys are singing in the bathroom for Mr. Clark. And I actually saw on your Facebook page there that you have recently revisited that same scene. You have it pinned up on the Facebook page, and you sang there, and you made a recording of your song. So was that for your music video you did last year?
Smooth, you want to take it?
Actually, yes, it was. It was pretty cool going back there and shooting the bathroom scene again, and reuniting with Jermaine, aka Sam's, you know, and it was a pretty exciting, you know, to go back, walk through the walls and stuff like that, and go up into the hallway where we harmonized that. And I mean, it was just cool. It was nice. We really enjoyed it.
Heartwarming feeling to be back, right?
Yes.
Well, you got to figure 30 years later.
Yeah.
I mean, walking back into the building and like getting that ghost feeling, you know, because Eastside is built on a graveyard. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, the high school was built on the graveyard.
Yep, that's why we got the nickname Ghost. That's our mascot.
Is it really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
So did you guys ever get that feeling that there were spirits and such in the building?
Nah, the only type of spirits we had was school spirit.
Oh, that's perfect. That's amazing.
Alley-oop, Snoop. Alley-oop, Smooth B. Nice.
Oh.
Boom. Now, I think it's also amazing that 30 years later, you guys are all still making music together and still friends, and that's really inspiring as well. Now, you were originally called the Playboys when you first started, correct?
That is correct.
And why the name change?
Oh, chill. You gotta do that.
Well, I mean, because I think as you get older, I mean, even though you do have exotic dancers, you know, and they continue on with their legacy, but for the most part, I think having that title at that time, because of a lot, like being honest, you know, because of a lot of popularity within the school with the young ladies and stuff, and then seeing how it was starting to cause a lot of, you know, controversy, I want to say, with other women, you know, girls or whatever in the school. We had a thing to where by hooking up with a manager of ours who was basically a part of our team, Skip Van Rensselaer. He basically gave us an opportunity to work with him, and while working with him, create our create our name, basically. Because a lot of times rehearsing, basically what we would do is do a lot of interacting with the vocals, which was riffing. You know what I'm saying? And by us riffing and during rehearsal and during shows, our manager basically said, yeah, maybe I need to change the name from the Playboys to Riff because y'all do a lot of that.
He's playing around.
Come on, Chill.
That ain't how it went.
Chill. You know, it was you.
You want me to get the story how it went?
Listen,
we was doing this song.
Listen, Naomi.
We was doing this song.
Yeah.
We was
Naomi,
doing this
he's
song.
playing.
I didn't want to put Smitty out there like that, but
Naomi, look. The bottom line is, I'm gonna do the short version. We were in rehearsal, practicing some songs, and we was doing "Giving Up Is Hard to Do" by the Gladys Knights and the Pips. We were singing that song right there. I remember it clear as day.
Yep.
And this guy, Anthony Fuller, over there, okay, like straight up, like he sang like a grown man. We were kids, but he sang like a grown man, like with the passion. You know, he did a lot of runs with his vocal cords. And he got in rehearsal and was ripping this song to pieces. I mean, ripping it down in rehearsal to the point where, after we finished the song, it was quiet. And we slapping five, you killed that, right? And then Mr. Skip, who was our manager, was like, man, he said, yo, y'all took that song to the next level, man. He said, yo, y'all should change y'all name from the Playboys to Riff because that's all y'all do. That's all you do. And it stuck from there. We was like, oh man, that's hot right there. And we kept the name Riff from there. So
it's a great name.
For bringing us that idea. Because the Playboys just wasn't gonna work. You know what I mean? We wasn't gonna keep the Playboys. It wasn't gonna happen.
Because let me be honest, man. Let me tell you, when we did the movie, it's like so many guys, and I gotta be honest, so many people, especially guys, we became so popular to where lots of guys were jealous of us. So it worked out for the good to where in that rehearsal, Skip saying what he said, our manager changed the name because of me doing what I do, my brother, Nitty, and Smooth, and Kenny. I mean, it worked out perfect for that reason. On that one rehearsal, so everything panned out real good.
Yep.
Good choice.
You can't say, fellas, y'all know we had a lot of people who was envious of us. Y'all know that.
Oh yeah, well that's only because we had to sing the school song every day. They was making us sing it every day. So they was like, bunk that, I'm gonna get a group too. I'm gonna get a group too. It was like 4 or 5 groups.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So did you get
we have a book that's coming. That's not to break it up. Sorry. We have a book that's where about start working on to where it's a book out right now that my manager Skip Van Rensselaer wrote. Right, he's telling his version of basically, what he's thinking. But you're gonna witness a lot of stuff like what Mike just said, Nitty just said a second ago, as far as the popularity within the group and the school song, to where we had to go through a lot of battles and what they call that when you have pep rallies and all of that stuff within the school. You had, because of us, pep rallies when they had cheerleaders competitions and all of that. We became so popular.
Oh yeah.
We became so popular from the school song that people started forming groups, and it became a thing every week. So that means if it was 43 weeks within a school year, it was every Friday was a challenge. It was some type of battle that was taking place, and you'll be surprised. It became popular to where other high schools throughout the city would come out and meet just to hear this battle take place. So it was really serious, and you'll know about it real soon once this book's dropped.
Did you guys do the battle like in the school, like in the gymnasium, or was it like out in the yard, or where?
Auditorium.
In the school auditorium. every Friday they had to cut it short, school days, just to make sure this pep rally took place, the battle.
That's super fun.
It was that deep.
Was it good rivalry though? Like good rivalry, everyone had good energy about it?
Oh yeah, listen, everybody in Eastside at that time, it was so much going on, like with the filming of the movie. Like we pretty much already had our role on lock. You know what I mean? We knew, you know what I mean? Because Mr. Clark stated after we sang it, it was more like, listen, I'm gonna put y'all in my movie. That's it. I want y'all to sing the school song because look, the way y'all changed it is the way I want it to be in the movie, because they sang it a whole nother way.
Oh,
Riff took the school song and flipped it to what you know it as today. And then, like Chill was saying, there was a lot of groups trying to take that spot. So they was recreating the song and coming up with different things on trying to like figure out how to catch us. But they couldn't catch us, man, because we was just blessed. You understand? We had it. They couldn't take it away from us, We was blessed.
You sure were.
A lot of fun.
You sure were. You got a lot of great things that came out of everything that happened. And one thing that we talked about before, Smooth, and I love Arsenio Hall. You guys had the opportunity to be on the show. Tell me about that experience.
Well, y'all go ahead. I talked about it, so it's y'all turn.
No, I want to hear you again. Let's do this.
Well, all right. Well, the first time we was in LA, I'm not sure. I think we was doing an album, or the movie had already came out. Well, yeah, the album. I think we had finished the album, and we had got tickets to go to the Arsenio Hall show. And I can't remember who his guest was up there at that time. Then we were sitting in the audience, and then all of a sudden, Arsenio Hall said something about the movie Lean On Me. And he said, yeah, these guys right here in the audience, they're going to be on my show tomorrow night. Like, we were, like that was, it was crazy the way we found out. It was like we was at the show, and then we was on.
No warning. That was it.
None whatsoever.
Get you on the show.
These guys are going to be on the show tomorrow night. Tune in. And that was like, after that, like it was history, because we was up there a few more times after that. We was up there singing with the band, and I mean, it was a very, very great. It was a great experience.
The posse. That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh.
The baddest band in the land.
I had so many good memories from that show, because I saw so many of the first big stars of my generation that I adored on his stage first.
Right.
Like Mariah. That's where she debuted on TV, right on that stage. But yeah, how did you guys find the whole Arsenio experience?
Okay, well, the experience was awesome. You know what I mean? Because Arsenio had grown to like us. See, this is how you know that, because there's so much information, like for us to keep up on it. But the time that Smooth is talking about, that happened the last time we were on Arsenio Hall. He doesn't even know that. Because the first time we were on Arsenio Hall, we was there to promote our single, If You're Serious. And we walked in, and we looking at the stage set, boom, boom, boom. We looking at it. We rehearsed it with the band, and Arsenio came out, introduced himself to us, and he said, listen, I got a choir here. He said, I want to know if y'all can come out and do a song with the choir. He said, maybe y'all can sing something, and then we can join in. We'll have y'all join in at the choir. That was the first time we were on Arsenio Hall. So he said, I want y'all to come from the audience. No. Tell me where did we come from?
We came from the audience.
We came from the back.
Came from the audience singing.
Up at the top, and then kind of down.
Yeah.
We came from the
I
back.
remember that because I almost fell.
Oh, no.
We came from the back, and we worked our way downstairs. You know what I mean? And we joined up with the choir. We were singing "Oh Mary, Don't You Weep" by Take 6.
Wow.
That was the first time. And then we did a second song by ourselves, which was If You Serious.
Which I'm going to play on the show right now. Okay.
Uh-oh,
But I'll clip it in. I'll clip it in.
All right. Then the second time we were there, we did White Man Can't Jump to promote that movie. And then the third time we were just in LA doing something. I think we was filming video or something. And we had tickets to the Arsenio Hall Show. And we were sitting in the audience watching K7 do Come Baby Come, Baby Come.
All right. Yep.
We was watching them do it. Peace out to K7. I talk to him every now and again. What's up, dude? But we was watching them perform. And all of a sudden, like Steve said, Arsenio was like, we got Riff in the house. He was pointed. He was like, Riff's going to be on my show tomorrow night.
Okay.
Like, what? And it was that night after that show, we went to the hotel. You know, we started learning songs that we could sing with the band. And we came back that next night and sat in with the band and sing like 4, 5 songs, 6 songs.
Oh, that's so cool.
So the experience was amazing. Arsenio loved us.
Yeah. That is so
Down
cool.
to earth. Down to earth. Definitely, he received us very well. It was no type of
he loved us.
envy. He loved it. Showed us the utmost respect.
He seems like the type of guy who's what you see is what you get. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Down to earth and everything. Yeah.
Was it like 3-4 years ago he made a brand new Arsenio Hall show? I was so excited. I think it lasted for 3 months or so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then that was, unfortunately.
But
I was excited too.
But he'll be in Coming to America too, and that's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I can't wait. Yes, I'm excited for that. Now, back to what you guys were experiencing during that time. You mentioned the White Man Can't Jump movie, right? So you guys had a song on there?
Yeah.
We had the title cut.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Cool. So
We
is that
had the title cut, which was written and produced by my man Dallas Austin.
I love him.
Dallas Austin, and it was a wonderful experience working with him. Not only working with him, but we had a chance to meet and work during the video with Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes, and Rosie Perez. So we got to interact with all the stars in one, song, which was a wonderful experience for us. And not that it's a sad part, but you know what? The sad part is that as big as the record could have been, we felt that they didn't push it the way it could have, like, really went out and made history. Because I guess during that time, I guess Boys to Men was really hot. You know what I'm saying? So what they did, they basically shifted and went towards Boys to Men opposed to focusing on Title Song, which was like a better record, and not that I'm saying it because I'm part of the group, but I'm just speaking. If you were to listen to the soundtrack album and compare both songs, you would see the difference.
Yeah.
Dallas Austin was a hot commodity at that time, hot producer, songwriter, and he was amazing. And whatever reason the song ain't take off, I mean that's being out of control. But we did our part.
The song went #1 in New Zealand. It went #1, so we all right. I'm good.
Yeah,
It's surprising sometimes where things blow up. It's
Yeah.
true. Smooth, what were you gonna say?
Oh nah, I mean he pretty much covered it. Like I was just about to add, like, how can you not pay attention to the title track of the song, White Man Can't Jump? We figured that right there was gonna be the one that, opened the door for us a little bit. But somehow, like Chill said, they went look for the hook. So I mean, my boys the men, right?
Our boys, those are our partners. We love them. It's not their fault, but it so happens that at the time, Boys the Men, what they was doing. They was working with LA.
Right.
They
politics.
everything. Yeah, politicking. So, but I mean, you know, we still both got a chance to, you know, interact on the album, which was a great soundtrack album, nevertheless. You know, but I mean,
Yeah.
whenever times allow us to entertain the song, we do, and it's still to this day get great response. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Yeah, great response.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a wonderful tune. I loved it. And during that time, is that when you got to start touring with Vanilla Ice and LL Cool J and go on the road?
Well, Vanilla, you wouldn't believe that. Grant, I'll take a little bit, then I hand it to you. I don't want to do too much talking.
No, go ahead.
Vanilla Ice came. Yeah, Vanilla Ice came at the beginning. You wouldn't like. We were still basically working. I want to say we was at the dead end part of our album. You know what I'm saying? But because of the hype and because of everything that was going on in terms of what we was doing in our hometown, the movie Lean on Me, and a lot of the local stations in terms of like televised television, ABC, you know, NBC, all of the stations, Riff was getting so much hype and popularity to where it got back to Vanilla Ice came, and you know, it was easy for them because at the time I think Vanilla Ice was label mates, right? If I'm not mistaken, we were label mates. So it was easy for Charles Coplin, who was the president at the time, to go to Vanilla Ice and say, listen, you know, I have Riff, who your label mate, who's your label mate. I want you to give them an opportunity. And you know what? They would never fail you. And we did. It got to the point, working with Vanilla Ice, and there's no disrespect to him because we love him because he always gave us the utmost respect. He shared the stage with us, gave us an opportunity, but it got to the point to where the news media started saying that, you know, these guys, Riff, need to be headlining their own tour. These guys are so good at what they do. And it wasn't taking nothing away from Vanilla Ice. It was just people in Homage giving us our roles while we were here as young people who could really sing. And at that time, because it was like, it wasn't auto-tune, everything was basically live. What you got, what you heard was what you was going to get. Everything was just what Riff was capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? So, Nitty or Smooth, you want to add to what I just said there, Vanilla?
Yeah. We had basically, it was a joy to be on the road. We learned a lot. We learned how to move on the road. Like so when we went to the LL Cool J tour, we were already seasoned, you know. That sun was stone on us, you know. We already knew that we was gonna be a certain way on this particular tour. So we ended up touring with LL for 3 months, and that was a whole nother experience because he did arenas and he did small arenas. He did big arenas and he did small arenas. When we came out with Vanilla Ice was at his peak. We was doing like football stadiums.
Wow.
And so it was awesome. Both tours was a joy.
No kidding.
And you know, we was kids, we was walking around with a whole pocket full of money, you know. You know, it was kids. It was like, yeah, I'm loving this right now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when I was reading your bio, it mentioned some work that some of the members did with Michael Jackson back in the group Men of Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's involved in that?
That pretty much happened, you know, because Riff had went through a test of our fate, like, you know, because we ended up losing our deal at SBK Records, okay, because we rephrase
that, baby. We gave up our deal.
Yeah. We ended up, you know, parting ways with SBK Records because they wanted to do a third album. And, you know, some of the fellas thought that we had enough music on the second album that they can, you know, drop some more singles, because we had only dropped 2 singles off of the record. But at the time, SBK basically had a vision on what they wanted to do. They was lining us up for success, you know, because they were basically, we had went in to work with David Foster. They wanted David Foster to do our third album. So we went in, we cut a song, Don't Wanna Fall in Love. Don't wanna rush into anything fast. I just want a good thing to last. It was a beautiful song. Dwayne Jones was tearing the building down on this song. So we pretty much demoed the song with David Foster. He let our record company know that he would love to work with us and do our project. Okay. But we didn't see eye to eye. The deal ended up smashing. So Riff went on a hiatus. You know what I mean? We kind of, you know, we was chilling. We was trying to, you know, we figured because, you know, we had a little money, you know what I mean, that we can leave SBK Records and go try to get another deal with another record label that believed in, you know, R&B black music. And that wasn't the case. Nobody wanted to touch us. They knew that we were good. We had songs on the charts. We had success with the movie. We basically blackballed from the game, pretty much. Nobody wanted to touch us at that time. So during our hiatus, we decided to do different things. You know what I mean? Some of us got married. You know, a couple of us started, you know, singing in like cover bands, and you know, some was pursuing acting and you know, spoken words. Kenny was one of the guys that had a group called Mind Frame. Excellent group. You know what I mean? We was just trying different things. Yeah. So pretty much, you know, Anthony was at a church service and he ran up on a singer that had a deal with Sony. And he was asking the guy if he can do some songs for Riff. He ended up giving the guy the number, boom. The guy didn't call for about a month or so. He called Anthony and was like, look, man, he said, I know Riff is taking a chill pill right now. You know what I mean? I lost 3 guys of my group. He was like, yo, I'm trying to, you know, I wanna know if you guys will come over here and help us out. Chill was like, cool, who do you want? He was like, yo, I want you and Mike. And Chill was like, well, you gotta take my brother too. And he was like, well, we kind of only looking for 2. He was like, you gotta take my brother too. So we ended up meeting them over in New York City like a week later at Junior's Cheesecake Factory. You know, we was over there. We met, we sang together, and we went to Sony and sang for Teddy Riley. Michael Jackson was on the phone, Corey Rooney, Tommy Mottola, and there was some other people that was there. And they loved the new sound. And we ended up recording the album, and that's how we went. We joined Men of Vision for about 3 years, and then we ended up taking a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did this all come back to becoming Riff once more?
I mean, we never broke up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We never broke up. So Riff basically, you know, was destined to get together and do some more music. You know, so we just decided that it was time for us to get back out there and do some more music. And that's pretty much what we've been doing.
I want to hear about the new music you're putting out right now. We want everybody to we'll get a taste of it on the show. I'll play some of the new stuff for you as well. But tell me what you're doing now.
I mean, the album is done.
Yeah.
We have a new project. We just trying to put all the pieces together because, you know, as you know, music industry is different right now. You know what I mean? So it's not like we have a major deal. We, you know, you can record a song today and put it out tomorrow. But, you know, you got to figure out a marketing plan on how you're going to get that song to the masses. And it's pretty easy. You know what I mean? But you got to be dedicated to it. You know what I mean?
There's positive and there's negative because you have a record company. They do all that for you.
Exactly.
But you have no control. Where this way, you have all the control.
All the control. Right. Exactly. You said it right. You said it right. So it's basically that. So it's just figuring out how we're gonna market it, and we're gonna put the record out, you know, by the beginning of the year. We should have it out there.
I hope we'll be able to share some of the music before on the episode. That would be so great.
Of course.
Just some clips, you know.
Trying to make sure we gotta make sure we got our plateau ready, because like you said a minute ago, with a record company you can reach, you know, millions of people, you know what I'm saying, through the airwaves. Some people they're not into the social medias, being Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the different outlets.
Yeah.
So we just trying to, you know, because the album been done at least for about like almost a year now, but we're very, very, we just trying to make sure that we make the right steps in terms of putting it out. And, you know, we pray that things don't become outdated, but the music is phenomenal that we've been working on. We've been putting in a lot of hard work, sweat and tears. We've been doing whatever it is that we know how to do to basically please the fans. But if you can't reach all the fans the right way, then it doesn't make sense to just put it out there, because then it's going to be like, you know, we just doing it for nothing. So we just hope that the people in Canada, the people in China, Africa, Australia, we hope that these people, you know, hear this interview and they go to the Riff page, being Twitter, Riff Sounds Twitter, Riff Sounds Instagram, Riff Sounds Facebook, and we hope that they come and they join in, you know, with the new music that we put out already, and the album that we're about to drop, because it has to make sense. It has to be a logical way of, you know, putting out the music to where it's just not going to sit there on the shelf and collect dust. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense.
It totally makes sense. You put a lot of love into each project you do, and you want to make sure that it gets out there properly.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And I know Smooth and I had a talk before, but I want to make sure that you're just as much involved in this conversation as well. But how are you feeling about everything going on right now with the music and getting it out there?
Smooth. She talking to you.
Well, nah, she was, me? I thought because she was saying, like, we had our conversation, like, y'all, she wanted y'all in on the conversation.
No, I want you in this conversation, too.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's what I mean. I know we spoke before, but I want to speak with you more.
But, yeah, I mean, like they said, we're just waiting for the right time. The music is dope, and we do have some, we have a YouTube page, Riff Sounds. I mean, you can go check out the videos that we've done to some of the songs, and some of the songs that you hear on YouTube will probably be on the album as well. So we got a video to that, and you can just go and, go and enjoy it. But like they saying, like, you got to wait for the right time to put it out there, and, hope that the people are really missing the real R&B songs with the hook and the vamp out and all that other stuff as much as we're missing it, and jump on the bandwagon and just bring back 90s music.
Amen.
Bring back that melodic sound.
Yes.
That's tough.
We try to reach them 50 million people who we had a chance to reach for the movie Lean on Me. That's the audience we trying to reach again. You know what I'm saying? And if that makes sense for us to wait in order to do that, then we just gonna wait. Not saying we're gonna wait too long, but that's what we're trying to. That's our goal, is to reach them 50 million people who had a chance to see Lean on Me. Reach them 10 million people who had a chance to gravitate on the first Riff album. My Heart Is Felony, If You're Serious, Every Time My Heart Beats. Those great records. Those the audience we need to get back into, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them, they wonder, they're wondering what is Riff doing now? Because see, we don't have that machine, like you said, the record companies, who was able to reach out to the millions of people, all the people in airways. So now it's like we depend on social media to try to capitalize on, having that relationship again. And it's being honest, it's kind of hard, because a lot of the young kids today, they do that. That's what they live for. We are older now, and, we have families. We have to provide for kids. We have to take care. So it's not like you have that changed to where back in the days when we was like the 19 and the 18 and we was sleeping until 1 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And we had that check sitting at the record company, the royalties, and we was able to go up there and get it and not have to worry about anything. But now it's a whole new day and time, you know, so we have to do what we got to do to make sure not only is our personal life, you know, taken care, but then at the same time when it comes to our musical life, we want to make sure that everything makes sense and everything is balanced out. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what we're trying to do.
And introduce a new generation of fans. Like now, you guys have kids as well. Are your kids making the music as well?
Some of us, I mean, all the kids. You know, if I can interact, all the kids, all of our kids, my nieces and my nephews, they all can sing. They all do their thing. But you know, even my personal kids, some of them just have a different outlet, look, in terms of music, because I guess they've seen what we've experienced and they've seen what we've been through in terms of not being home a lot, you know, as young kids, because we was out touring the country and touring the world. And let me tell you, a lot of people don't understand it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work and dedication. I mean, night after night after night, you got to pause and then you got to open. You got to get up 6 o'clock in the morning. You got to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. You got to interact with the radio station. You got to meet and greet. You got to do the club, meet and greet at night, and it becomes tiresome. I tell you.
It's work.
Hard work pays off. Yeah, hard work pays off like Mayweather says it best. But, I mean, as you get older, you know, things tend to just twitches a little different. But Will, me, and the brothers, the Riff, will we like to relive that life again? Sure, because it was fun while we did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, we took a different type of turn in terms of the relationship with the record company because they saw us going one way and we decided to go another way because we believed in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we took that approach. But will we ever do it again? Yeah, we'll do it again. I'm pretty sure I speak for all of that. Yeah, and we're gonna do it again. You know, it's just a matter of when the time is right.
Listen, I want to add on to what he was just saying, to what Chill was talking about. Yeah, like when we were coming out of the gate, like he said, we used to go to radio stations. You know, we had record reps. They'll make you go sing for that person. They're like, yo, go over there and sing for that person right there. So we go over there and we singing for everybody. Like we really, really worked for what we had, you know what I mean? Today it's direct. Like I said, you can do a record, you can put it up and boom. You know, if kids like it, they're getting streamed, they're getting a check. And everybody is cut out of that. It's straight money coming to your account. So basically what we're trying to say in a nutshell, because we're spoiled, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's a good word, Greg.
we have music and we tend to like, you know, like hold on to it, you know what I mean? Instead of like going buck wild, like just let it go and just let it push because we spent our own money to cut this stuff. And the truth of the matter is, man, a lot of records is just not getting bought. Like it's just like it's a different system right now. You know, Beyonce said it the best. And she's one of the biggest selling artists in the world. She's like, yo, people aren't buying albums no more. They're getting the music for free. Yeah. They're getting it for free. They're getting these records for free.
Well, that's why these artists have to tour, because that's the only way you're going to make money nowadays. And now they can't tour right now. So now they're doing like cameo videos and stuff like that, right? Because what else are they going to do?
Right, exactly.
And I think that's another reason why, like, you know, when you get copyright infringement on YouTube because somebody put your song, I think that wouldn't be happening so much if artists got paid money from their music.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Anyway, sorry, I had to go off on that. Continue.
No.
You're right. You're right.
That makes sense. Let me tell you, Nitty and I was talking the other day, right? And we had a nice conversation. And he was telling me, he was like, yo, chill. He said, people is like hitting a page and they saying, this was one of the songs that I had a chance to write. And the song was released like about a year ago. And people like they never heard the song because I guess during this time of pandemic, the COVID, everybody has no choice but to sit and to be stable, you know, and people are hitting the page saying the song is hot, hot, hot. And the song was out a year ago. I'm like, are you for real? But that goes to show that a lot of people, we're not touched, we're not reached. So we got to figure out that whole plateau and how we can reach all these people who we know. We got fans. We got so many fans. You'll be surprised. But we just can't touch them. And for whatever reason, I mean, like the social media outlet is a little different. You know, I know it's a lot of young kids now that we must introduce ourselves to. But that was kind of a shocker that, you know, people are starting to take to this song. And we released a lot of great records. When You Love, Say the Word, Perfect 10. So many dedicated, so many great songs. The song Sorry. And songs are out, and when we perform the songs, they love them, but they're not being heard. You know what I'm saying? So we had that train behind us for that machine set up. It'll make a big difference because whatever we do in the studio when we work, because we work hard, we bust our ass. Excuse my French. We can put out. It doesn't matter. Wherever we go, you take the music away, we do our thing. We some singing guys, and we for real about our craft. But we feel we don't get our just due with the hard work that we put in and we put out in terms of our money, in terms of our time and effort and our dedication with the writing and everything that goes along with this game. You know what I'm saying? So that sort of like bothers us a whole lot. But it's nothing against the fans and our friends and people like you who we respect and we thank, you know, take the time out, you know, to tell our story, to interview us. But it just hurts us, you know, that we just can't reach the people who we know. If we had the same opportunity like the 90s when we were out, I think it would be triple platinum, 6 million records sold, because this is something that we put our hard-earned time and effort.
Listen,
amen. Yeah.
Listen, Chill, not to cut you off. See, back then we had no social media. There was no camera phones. There was none of that. You know, back then there was cassette tapes.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Cassettes.
Man, listen, you show somebody that right now, they'll probably be like, what is that?
Listen,
How does that work?
This is an old Riff rehearsal tape.
Oh, wow.
With everybody on it. You know what I mean? The whole group rehearsing in my manager's house. This is the tape. But we gonna find somebody to tell our story. I'm talking about like an unsung. We might got to do our own unsung. I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. But we're gonna figure out how we can maximize this new material that we have, so that, you know what I mean, so that it can be heard. So everything is visual now, though. Cats is walking around in the street, in the food market with masks on their face, still looking at their phone like this. So everything is on the phone. So we just got to figure that part out. And we're going to get with a marketing team and we're going to tear it up. Next year, check that new Riff album out. That's all.
I can't wait. Yeah. I hope you get that tape digitally encoded.
Oh, listen.
Before it turns to dust. Come on.
I already made copies and burnt it to CD.
Okay, you're good. Now you guys are all obviously from New Jersey, where it all began. What are your favorite things about Jersey today? If you had a guest coming from another country like Canada, for instance, tell me where you would take them to Jersey.
Now?
Yeah. Now? Pretend COVID doesn't exist. Just pretend it's done. Okay. Yeah.
Johnny Haynes. Johnny and Haynes has the best hot dogs you can get. Right after that, Grill. Okay.
What about Broadway pizza?
Two places when you come to Jersey. Johnny and Haynes. Me and Smooth grew up on Johnny and Haynes. You know, his father used to spoil us all the time. We'll spoil him, but because, you know, I was with him, you know, they used to hook me up too. You know what I mean? So yeah. Johnny and Haynes and Hot Grill, you gotta make a stop to when you come to Jersey. That's
Well,
what
also,
Hey, great. Broadway pizza.
Broadway pizza is good too. Yeah, it's still the same.
They give you the biggest slice of pizza for $2.
Yeah.
Biggest slice. I haven't had it in a while, but I mean, now that we're talking about it, I might sneak over there, but it's one of the best tasting pizzas. They say New York pizza is the best tasting. Patterson got the best tasting pizza.
Broadway pizza.
yeah, also,
And
also torpedo
I mean,
base, and then also the Great Falls, and then
Yes, we talked
being
about that. Great Falls
right,
is beautiful.
and
Great
then
Falls,
then we have
number
a
one
mall
place.
down here, and there's a comedy club that's opened up down here. And we would I would take you, or I would advise to go check out the Monique's Comedy Club down there at the Center City Mall in Paterson, New Jersey.
And the number one place, which is where it all started for us, Eastside High School.
Eastside High School, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll take
You got to ride past the high school.
I'm gonna eat good in New Jersey. I'm gonna eat very
Oh
good.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna gain some pounds. So
Please make a notation. We've been trying to get to Canada for years, and it's not us. We've been trying. So please put in the words, the promoters,
Yeah.
Riff. Canada was one of our favorite, if not the best place that we've ever performed at, because during those days with Vanilla Ice, they showed us so much love out in Canada. Toronto, Ontario. I mean, it's just amazing country that we love. And you know what? We have some good friends we still communicate with. Not fans. They started out fans, but since throughout the years we became friends.
Yeah.
Good friends. And so Canada is one of the first places we would love to tour, when that time, comes.
When that time comes, there's places in my city I could find venues for you that would be wonderful to play. And because I used to sing in a band here in town, so I've played a few of them. And we're way out west, so far away from Jersey, like 5-hour flight. But well, I'll be happy to welcome you here and have you guys come play some shows. That'd be cool.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. One day, when life's back to normal.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
So what tracks are you guys most proud of especially with the new music or the old music? Some of the tracks that maybe people didn't hear because they weren't singles. For each of you, starting with Nitty, which tracks are you most proud of?
Talking about on the albums?
Yeah.
All
I
of
always
them.
like those deep cuts. I love those deep cuts that don't always get heard because they're not singles,
Okay, well, for me, if I had to go off the first album, I would say Baby is Wonderful. One of my favorite. And Temporary Insanity.
Nice. Okay, cool. Smooth.
Well, I mean, he touched on those two. So being that he said those two, I'm gonna throw out another two. Read My Eyes off of the first album.
Mm-hmm.
And I Can't Believe We Just Met. That's just off of the first one.
Beautiful.
Hey, Smooth.
As far as me, All or Nothing that was our opening. We used to come out with that joint.
Yeah.
People love that. Big ups to Monty Stewart. He wrote and produced that record. And it was a phenomenal joint. And Baby is Wonderful was one of those new edition records to me that we never got a chance to put out. I mean, it had the whole swag of new edition to me, on that first album. If you listen to it, it's called Baby is Wonderful. Go back and listen to it and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I'll be very happy to share some of the clips of the songs on the show for everybody. And I'm just so glad I was able to get you all together here today. Now, I definitely am happy because I have some footage chatting with Smooth a couple weeks back, and now with everybody together. I had a great time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
we all had a great time. Can't you see it?
I see it.
That we having a
we have a good
We
time.
appreciate it.
It's absolute pleasure. Now I'm going to wrap things up by asking each of you what food item, clothing item, or toy, one of those things makes you nostalgic for the 90s.
Oh,
We'll start with Anthony. I did this to Smooth, but I'll do it again because Smooth's awesome. He has good answers.
Well,
I'm
for
going
me,
last. I gotta go last.
all right, for me, you know, you said from the 90s that made me like happy.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Like good memories of what
Good, I'm gonna tell you, and I'll say this real quick. My good memories was like canned good foods, because when we would be out on tour, being sausages, stewed beef, chicken noodle soup. The reason it made me excited in the 90s because I got a chance to the guys when we was out on tour, because this time we didn't get to stop and they were starving. So I made a lot of money off the group. A lot of money.
No way.
I used to sell
Mark up your prices.
No.
That's right, mark up my price.
No, Phil definitely had a bag full of goodies that he would sell to us when we be up in the mountains. Like they put our hotel up in the mountains, and you got to drive far to get food after the show. Like if you didn't take food from the venue after the night is up, you like, yo, man,
yeah, because room service is closed and everything.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Chill is popping up in the can like, dumping it in the bowl, heating it up and coming out and holding it like. We're like, yo, man.
Oh, you guys look hungry.
Where did you get that can of stewed beef from? I got another one. Give me $5. Go ahead, Smooth. Go ahead.
What makes me nostalgic about the 90s is the clothing, Carl Kanai cross colors.
Yes.
Music, the old style music, and food wise, just food, period.
Just eating. It's good.
Just eating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. Nitty.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what I miss. I miss about the 90s, man. But like you had more TV programs that promoted music. You had like the Party Scene, Arsenio Hall, Rick D's. You had, a lot of different, BET. You had a lot of different video channels like MTV. Like I miss videos. I don't see them like I used to. You know what I mean? The cartoons, like the cartoons is different right now than back then. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of stuck on that right there. And I miss the cassette tapes, man.
I miss when they get stuck in my tape player and I had to ravel it up with the pen because it was all messed up, man.
The cassette tapes used to have the boom boxes. What? With the double cassette.
Yep. Getting ready for the world famous Dream Team show.
Yeah, it's a Dream Team show, yeah.
Yep.
Listen, we used to be walking through the hallways after the show with our radios, man. Like, yo, it was crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
Just have enough D batteries and you're good. Lots of batteries.
Yeah.
Listen, truth be told, it was a lot of batteries and a lot of candles. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
You guys are an absolute blast, and I had a pleasure chatting with all three of you. And Smooth, thanks for dedicating your time, not just once, but twice. And we'll be taking some from that show and obviously this whole entire show and just I'll be editing it into one giant production for you.
Okay.
And as soon as it's going out that week, I'll tag you in all the social media and I'll write to Katrina and let her know so she can pass it on to you guys.
Awesome.
Okay.
Sound good?
And also, it's okay when you edit, you have 2 pictures of me and just one of them. It's cool. I'm cool with that.
Nice.
He's gonna get the most press.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that was a blast. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'll keep in touch, and then can't wait for the new record. I'll be following it to see what's going on.
Listen, we really appreciate
Thank you.
your time. Thank you for the interview.
Beautiful.
For the second time,
For
yes.
the second time. Love you guys. You
All
all
right now.
have a
Wow.
wonderful day. We'll talk to you later.
You too now. All right.
Bye.
All right, brothers.
Peace out, man.
Peace.